What's up, NFL fans? I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and don't forget to check out and purchase your copy of our latest football game plan book, Stiff Arming Football Myths. We have these available in both PDF and paperback form.
Welcome to Football Game Plans Talking with TD. I'm your host, Teron Davenport.
All right, talking with TD, here we are. Folks, we leave no rocks unturned. We're going to go out to Boise State. We're going to bring in big body wide receiver Matt Miller. Matt, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing really well, man. I appreciate you coming on. Definitely looking at some of your numbers that you put up. I remember watching a few of your games your junior year. Definitely stood out. So I wanted to get you on at 6'3", 210 plus pounds. You definitely bring the size to the position. So can you just share with the listeners a little bit what it is that you bring to the table as a wide receiver?
Oh, yeah, I think my greatest asset is the knowledge for the game. I take a lot of pride in just being a student of this game and spend a lot of extra time in the film room, being the best prepared I can be. And then, playing this Boise State offense, you got to be dialed on the X's and O's part of it. And so I think that's my greatest asset.
I like that you mentioned your knowledge of the game, because as a receiver in the NFL, you're always going to have to think on the fly. You got to read coverages. You got to shift your routes, adjust your routes to different coverages. So it's good that you mentioned that. Looking at your junior season, 88 receptions, 1,140 yards, 12 touchdowns. That really was a breakout year for you. What was it that allowed you to really get busy in your junior season?
Oh, I think you got to start with, we had a great running back in Jay Ajayi. And, when you got something like that in the backfield, it makes my job a lot easier on the outside. Then it came down to the coaches, calling my number and me going out and making plays. The quarterback trusted me to go out there and get the ball. And like I said, it's when your number gets called, go out there and do your job and make a play.
So one of the best games of your junior season, the Oregon State game, you were called upon numerous times. You delivered 11 receptions, 206 yards. One of the guys that you had to go against, Steven Nelson, is a guy that a lot of draft people are looking at as one of the top corners. Who were some of the better corners that you had to go against throughout your college career?
Oh, yeah, that's the good thing about playing at Boise State. We played a lot of good teams and a lot of good players. Just going back even to my freshman year, we played a good corner from Georgia. I can't remember his name. And then we went to Michigan State guys. They both had Adams on one side, and I can't remember the other guy's name. He got picked up, I think, last year. They had one of the best defenses in the country. Then, of course, a lot of the good Mountain West guys. A lot of San Diego State always seems to have a good secondary. Nevada and Fresno State. So, it's the good thing with playing at Boise State. You play against a lot of good competition and a heck of football players.
Looking at the senior season prior to the injury, just looking at your numbers. So, as a freshman, 62 receptions, 9 TDs. Sophomore, 66, 5 TDs. We talked about the junior season, but your senior season, 28 receptions, 3 of them were touchdowns. So it looked like you were kind of on your way towards another, not breakout season, but just backing it with another season of success. How did your senior season go? What was your mindset coming into the senior season? You're a guy that was a preseason Balintikoff Award candidate. So, we're not talking about a guy that was a slouch by any means. So what was the mindset coming into the senior season?
Yeah, I had a lot of confidence coming into this season. Ending my junior season, we had the quarterback get hurt, and then our backup came in and filled in really nicely. And then he was our starter going in this year, and me and him lived together. We had a great connection there, and it just felt like everything was clicking the way it should be. So I was really confident going into my senior season, and I was off to a great start. And if I just maintained that through the entire season, I think I'd have been really pleased with those numbers. And then as well as I think our team have been really pleased, even though we did end up pretty dang good as it was, winning the Fiesta Bowl and winning the conference championship.
Looking at your high school career, that's another well-documented career. Basketball and track. In basketball, 1,000 points. You know, you were a guy that I'm sure got a lot of looks. What was it that drew you to Boise State coming out of Montana?
Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate playing 3 sports in high school, and I think that's the way it should be. Is it makes you a better athlete, better rounded, and it was a lot of fun growing up in Montana and getting that exposure for such a state that doesn't get a lot of exposure for a lot of kids. And what drew me to Boise State was how close it was to Montana, and if I was able to have some spare time, I could just get my pickup and drive home and spend the weekend up there. Plus, the football spoke for itself, and the education's not too shabby either.
That's spoken like a true Montana guy, getting the pickup and take a ride. That's funny. So, what other schools offered you? You got the scholarship to Boise. Were there any other schools that were taking a look at you?
Yeah, I had some other offers. Kind of my top other choices were Oregon State and Stanford. Then back east with North Carolina and Arkansas, and then also Arizona State. They had a quarterback, Brock Osweiler, who was also from Montana, so that was pretty intriguing.
So at 6'3", what was your height coming out of high school?
6'3". I haven't grown since.
Okay, so 2009 Montana Gatorade Player of the Year. You also played a little defense, all-state selection at corner. What was it that made you select receiver instead of DB?
That was a tough choice. A lot of schools actually want to play safety, and a lot of schools want me to play wide receiver, and I honestly had no preference. If they would have put me out there and said, go play safety, I would have done it. If they go play wide receiver, I would go and do it. I just love playing the game, and any chance I get to go out there and play, I'll be pretty happy with it.
Nice. So as far as the injury is concerned, where are we at now? How are you looking as far as making that transition to the NFL, the pro day, and everything like that?
Yeah, the last few weeks I started getting that explosive twitch back, and so it gives me a little bit of confidence going here in the next few weeks that I can be back to 100% and be the player that I was, and then continue to build on that to be able to play at this next level. We had our pro day yesterday, and I thought it went pretty well. I'm sure the times could have been faster and the jumps higher, given a little bit more time to recover. But you got to deal with the hand you're dealt with. And I was so pleased. A lot of scouts were pleased with how it went, and as well as my agent. So we came out yesterday with smiles on our faces.
Nice. What was some of the feedback you got from the scouts? I mean, at 6'3", 200 plus, I mean, you have the size that a team would definitely want, especially on the outside, running those in routes and the slants and things like that. Use your body to get position. The game is all about matchups, and there's plenty of corners in there that, a big guy like you could take advantage of. So what's the feedback you're getting?
Well, that is one thing, is just, the matchup, is pretty good with my body size, as well as my ability to pretty much play every receiver spot and even be kind of like a hybrid tight end wide receiver in some offenses. So a lot of teams just like the ability for me to play a lot of different football positions, as well as contribute on special teams and be a mismatch, on those units as well.
Nice. As far as teams having interest, were there any particular teams that stood out to you? Any teams that you rooted for growing up? Any particular players that you feel would have a game similar to yours?
I didn't really have a team growing up. I loved watching the game. I never cheered for one specific team. The guy I've kind of gravitated to the last few years is Eric Decker. I think me and him share a lot of the same qualities and characteristics that we put on the football field.
Nice. Eric Decker definitely had a productive career with the Broncos, and he's going to get back on track with the Jets. So I appreciate you coming on. Definitely want to get back with you at some point as we get closer towards the draft. So let's keep in touch. And like I said, thanks for coming on, Matt.
Oh, no, thanks for having me.
All right. Take care, man.
That wraps up this edition of Talking with TD. Be sure to check out all of my interview segments at footballgameplan.com/talkingwithtd. If you have any questions or people you want me to sit down with, hit me up on Twitter at @TDavenport_NFL.